appears to be signs of a civil war, or at least threat of a civil war as far as the Gilgit Baltistan region is concerned. Over the weekend, we've seen several thousand people that have hit the streets in protest. There is sectarian violence, sectarian protests that we are now seeing across Gilgit Baltistan. This happened after a Shia cleric was booked for blasphemy, after which we saw chorus of how Gilgit Baltistan and POK should merge with India. That chorus was taking place on the streets of Pakistan, on the streets of Gilgit Baltistan for the last 2 days. That's what we've seen happen. The fight there is about how the caretaker government is not caring as to what is transpiring between these sections of society there, between the Shias and the Sunnis, which is why we're seeing this kind of protest, this kind of violence break out there. Abhishek, my colleague, joining us, getting us more details as far as this violence, this protest go. Abhishek, we've seen several slogans that have been raised during the course of that protest in Gilgit Baltistan there. Many are calling for a merger with India. Many are saying that we don't want to go to even POK. We don't want to go to Sindh either, because the situation is pretty much the same. We want to march all the way to Kargil.
Well, there has been so many reports in the recent weeks where we have seen Pakistani people, especially in Gilgit Baltistan, calling out state policy there, state persecution there. The state has been using brute force to suppress the voice of people there. In fact, in the recent months, there have been multiple protests demanding basic amenities, basic facilities of life, schools, colleges, and hospitals. And also, the inflation was so high that the rising price of food was so high that people did not have enough money to buy food. And on top of it, there was a short supply of food as well. There were reports of trucks loaded with food items being looted by people, so that before they could get something to have for their own home. So this has been a condition in Gilgit Baltistan for a very long time now, and the latest protest, which is happening in the after a Shia cleric was arrested and put behind the bar in the name of blasphemy, is another example how the laws by the state are being used to persecute, to suppress the voice of people in that region. There has been multiple incidences in the past, and now the security situation in the region has been beefed up. The government officials and the ministers have been saying that the situation is very much calm, but the visuals are clearly an example as to what kind of protests are happening on the streets of Gilgit Baltistan, demanding some accountability from the state of Pakistan.
Right, the state of affairs in Pakistan are dire. The government, the caretaker government there, the politicians who are wanting a term there all need to come to consensus as to how to deal with this. For the moment, Abhishek, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. But let's take a look at some more news that's pouring in as far as the Gilgit Baltistan region is concerned. Even as thousands of people are marching in protest, as you see on your screens there, we're now learning that the government has asked Pakistan to vacate illegally occupied Kashmir. They've highlighted the situation there, that of Jammu and Kashmir, where people are happy with the development. So that's the kind of comparison that is being drawn as far as the situation in Pakistan is concerned, and Jammu and Kashmir specifically, and the kind of progress that has been made. This is what we've learned from a top government source, which is revealed to News18, that India has now slammed the Pakistani administration over the kind of protests that we've seen. Remember, Gilgit Baltistan, POK, something that India often speaks of, even in power corridors there. We're now learning that the protests that were witnessed over the weekend is also something that has been taken note of. Let's take you across to what exactly we've gathered from our sources within the government. Let's take a look at what exactly it is, what kind of messaging has been sent across to now. The administration there at the moment, it is a caretaker government. There will be elections that will be held in Pakistan. But let's take a look at what exactly these reasons are, or what the message really is that has been sent to the Pakistani administration. The kind of messaging is that look at Jammu and Kashmir, the same Kashmir that you harp on, but see the kind of progress, the kind of developmental works that have taken place, and look at the situation, compare it to what's happening in different parts of Pakistan, like that of Gilgit Baltistan, like that of POK.